Now class 9 students, today I welcome you to my lecture, that is the early Vedic literature, early Vedic period, which is based on early Vedic literature as the most important source of history. Now in my previous chapter, I taught you about the Harappan civilization. Just this Vedic civilization is a direct contrast to the Harappan civilization, because the Vedic civilization was agrarian, that is based on rural economy, whereas the Harappan civilization was urban in character. Now in every chapter we know the sources of history plays a very important role. Here the sources of the early Vedic period was early Vedic literature and the latter Vedic literature. The Rig Veda, the first of the Vedas, is probably the earliest literary work that humanity possesses. It contains hymns in praise of different gods and goddesses like Indra, Varuna and Agni. Now, about the religion, the god and goddesses, which we came to know about from the Rig Veda. Indra is the most favorite god of the Rig Vedic Aryans. He is considered to be the rain god. Clouds and rainfall play a very important role in the early Vedic period because the economy was based on agriculture. In the Rig Veda, the god Indra is called Purandar, which means the breaker of the force. The Aryans often invoked his help to destroy their enemies. Next to Indra comes Agni. Agni was the personification of the sacrificial fire. Now, there are so many references of the cows and the bull in the Rig Vedic hymns. The cow constituted the most important form of wealth of the Rig Vedic Aryans. Now, one important thing of the Rig Vedic society was the society was divided into 4 varnas. Number 1 is the priest, that is the Brahmins. Next, the warriors, that is the Kshatriyas. The common people engaged in agriculture, trade and industry, that is the Vaishyas, and the workers, that is the Shudras. The differentiation was based on occupation, but the class difference was not very sharp. The society was still liberal. It was based on the principle that all people were equal. Now then comes the important point is the non-iron phase of the Vedic history. This particular period was based on non-iron use. The economy of the Rig Vedic Aryans was chiefly agrarian and pastoral. The city proper played no part in their life. Cattle formed the chief source of their wealth, while the copper and bronze were available in plenty. The use of iron was not known to the early Vedic Aryans. Now, the early Vedic society, this is also very important, the early Vedic society, what type of society it was? The family. The basic unit of the social structure was the family. The Rig Vedic society was patriarchal, in which the Grihapati dominated the family and social life. The position of women. Women were treated as being equal with men. They took part in all religious rites. Women were given education, and there were women scholars. In the society, the women played equally with men. Just think of it. In this 21st century also, we can't give women so many high status in the society. And in choosing their husband, the girls played much more important role. Now, monogamy was the usual practice, though polygamy was practiced by many. Child marriage, the sati system, and parda did not exist among the Aryans. The women attended all the social functions and gatherings. So it is clear to us that the woman played very important role in the society, and the family was the basic unit of the society. The fourfold Varna system. Rig Veda refers to four orders of society: the Brahmins, the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, and the Shudras. The people who emphasize the Vedic text and perform the religious ceremonies are called Brahmins. Those who belong to ruling class is known as the Kshatriyas. The people who belong to the ruling class are known as the Kshatriyas. The common people engaged in agriculture, trade and industry. Now, the Vaishyas, the Shudras were the servants, and the laborers did not have much of their own. Scholars say that there were much social mobility in the Rig Vedic society, much social mobility. That is, the society was not rigid. There was no ban in taking of the food cooked by the Shudras. That is, the Shudras were not discarded from the society, and no restrictions in the intermarriages or change of the occupation. Now, next, very important, that is, the society was, though it was based on four varnas, but there was the system of the social mobility. Intercaste marriage and occupation was taken place in respect, regardless of any particular caste of the society. Now, Rig Vedic economy. The Rig Vedic economy was agrarian in character, agriculture. The Rig Vedic Aryans were mainly scattered in villages. They prayed for plentiful rain. As the society was based on agriculture, the people had to based on rainfall, the nature. Now, and a bountiful harvest, large herds of cattle and good health. It clearly indicates that agriculture was an important occupation of the village folk. However, the only grain referred to in the Rig Veda is yava, which could mean grain in general or barley in particular. As the society was based on agriculture, domestication of animals is very important. So next point is domestication of animals. Society was based on pastoral economy. Number one, the crafts. Men and women were engaged in weaving clothes. The metal workers or the smiths were skillful in making weapons, implements and ornaments. Trade transactions. The people were engaged in trade, clothes and leather goods being the main items. They used horses and bullocks for carrying goods from one place to another. They also transported goods through the inland river. Now, next very important is early Vedic religion. What was the religion practiced by the people of the early Vedic age? The nature worship. The religion of the Rig Vedic Aryans was very simple. The people were attracted by the bright and beautiful aspects of nature, and so they worship various forces of nature. So nature plays very, very important role in their life. They worship Varuna, Usha, sun god and Prithvi. Now, sacrifice or the yajanas. The Aryans did not build any temple or make any images for worship. They prayed for God's favors for chanting hymns in the open air. Sacrifice or yajanas occupied prominent place in early Vedic age and rituals. The common items of offerings for the sacrifice included ghee, milk, grain, flesh and soma juice. Now, these are the important things. Now, my students, you just listen carefully that what are the important questions of this chapter. One question is sources to reconstruct early Vedic age. Very important. Next is you write down the question. That is, what are the sources to reconstruct early Vedic civilization? Now, answer will be the Vedic literature, and that is another question from this short question. Which was the earliest Vedic literature? That is the earliest literary work that humanity possesses. The answer will be the Rig Veda. Now, how do Rig Vedic hymns enable us to reconstruct early Vedic civilization? Now write down the question. How do Rig Vedic hymns, HYMNS, enable us to reconstruct early Vedic civilization? Now, next question is, that is the position of woman. Very important. The family, the position of woman, then the fourfold Varna system. These are very important. Then Rig Vedic economy is also very important. Domestication of animals is also very important. And early Vedic religion. Early Vedic religion regarding this nature worship, sacrifice of the yajanas, these are very important. Now, my students, in my next lecture, I will tell you regarding the latter Vedic age. This latter Vedic age is also very important, and then after the completion of my chapter, that is the latter Vedic age, I will give you some questions which are entirely on comparison basis. That is early Vedic age and the latter Vedic age. Okay, thank you so much all my students today up till this.